When Black Panther 2 was announced, fans everywhere couldn't wait to dive back into the world of Wakanda. But there was one big question on everyone's minds. Who would take over the Black Panther mantle after the tragic loss of the film's main star? Now that the film is out, not everyone is happy with Marvel's decisions, and fans are divided over what should happen to the Wakandans next. But the debate over the next Black Panther wasn't the only issue that plagued this movie. From issues with casting issues to a dropped-out romantic storyline and an anti-vaccine controversy, this highly anticipated film didn't arrive without its problems. Just a warning, we'll be talking about movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so here's a general spoiler alert, especially for Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. When Chadwick Boseman made his first appearance as the Black Panther in Marvel's Captain America: Civil War, no one expected the massive cultural shift that was coming. The release of Black Panther in 2018 was a monumental moment for all people of the Black diaspora. It was the first major blockbuster movie featuring a Black superhero. And to say it was a cultural phenomenon would be an understatement. Moviegoers around the world went all out at the screenings, being as extra as possible. Some showings had drum lines, others had full buffets, and tons of people showed up in flashy, Wakanda-inspired outfits. The movie was a not-so-surprise hit, making a whopping $202 million during its domestic opening weekend. But that was nothing compared to its overall gross. The movie went on to make more than $1 billion worldwide, becoming one of the highest-grossing Marvel movies ever made. But the movie did more than just make money. It inspired an entire generation of young Black children. Children who had never seen a leading hero who looked just like them. The movie became cemented in Black history, even making history as the first Marvel movie to win an Academy Award, and one of the only superhero movies to ever be nominated for Best Picture. Chadwick Boseman appeared in several other Marvel movies, including Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame in 2019. But just a little over a year later, the actor tragically passed away at 43 years old. Fans, as well as the actor's co-stars, were surprised to learn that Chadwick had been silently suffering with colon cancer. Several months before his death, fans were concerned for Chadwick after he appeared to be very thin in a social media video he recorded for charity. Rumors about the actor kept flying, but after news of his illness and death spread, fans learned not to speculate about someone's body. Chadwick's unfortunate passing left a hole, not only in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in all of Hollywood. He was a talented actor who appeared in many movies, often playing historical characters like James Brown and Jackie Robinson. Fans couldn't help but wonder what would happen to the Black Panther franchise following the death of its star. People were divided over how Marvel should move the series forward. Initially, fans demanded that the role of T'Challa should never be recast, since no one could ever imagine anyone else but Chadwick taking up the mantle. But when Marvel officially announced the sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, many changed their tune. The recast T'Challa movement was born, and social media users fan-casted their perfect movie. Others believed they didn't need a new T'Challa, and that a new Black Panther could be chosen from the existing cast. It was assumed that Shuri, T'Challa's sister, played by Letitia Wright, would be the natural choice to don the black catsuit. As with any Marvel movie, the movie was shrouded in secrecy, but some secrets did inevitably leak from the set. Letitia's opportunity to lead the franchise was shaken after she shared anti-vaccine news during the COVID-19 pandemic. Rumors began to spread that Letitia would be kicked for those comments, but the controversy didn't get in the way of her role. Letitia was only one of multiple cast members who was considered to take up the Black Panther mantle. Screenwriter Joe Robert Cole confirmed to Rolling Stone that other characters were considered in the writer's room as potential Black Panther replacements. Winston Duke, who plays fierce leader M'Baku, and Lupita Nyong'o, who plays T'Challa's love interest Nakia, were also both considered to take over as the Black Panther. The writers ultimately decided that Shuri was the choice that made the most sense. In the Black Panther comic books, Shuri does eventually become Black Panther. There's a natural organicness, I guess is the best way to say it, to her becoming Black Panther because of what happens in the comics, Cole explained. He continued, "But you kick the tires on all sorts of ideas, and you just want to make the best decision and do what's best for the story." In the film, Shuri is grieving after T'Challa passes away from an illness. Shuri ends up reluctantly ingesting a new version of the heart-shaped herb, which grants the Black Panther's powers and puts on the infamous black suit. Following Chadwick's death, director Ryan Coogler had to rework the entire Wakanda Forever script, but there was one thing that stayed the same: the existence of T'Challa's son. In the mid-credits scene of Wakanda Forever, it's revealed that Nakia was quietly raising their son in Haiti. Writers decided it was important to keep that scene, essentially promising that T'Challa and the Black Panther legacy would live on. However, there was another storyline that writers apparently decided wasn't a fit for the film. In the movie, the Wakandans go up against an underwater villain called Namor, played by Mexican actor Tenoch Huerta Mejia. Namor is portrayed as a complex character who wants to protect his people after he learns a scientist has created a device to detect vibranium. Namor's people, the Talocano, also have ancient vibranium reserves, and when he feels their precious metal is threatened, he wants to join forces with Wakanda to kill the inventor. The inventor happens to be Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, who will soon play a big role in the MCU, and Shuri and the Wakandans decide to protect her. Namor commits some seriously villainous acts in the movie. We won't spoil everything here, but in the end, he and Shuri resolve to work together instead. However, Namor and Shuri's story was initially a little more spicy. The film's editor, Michael P. Shaver, revealed to Newsweek that Namor and Shuri almost had a romantic storyline. Shaver explained that although they filmed the romance between the characters, it ended up on the cutting room floor. He said they realized Namor and Shuri's bond was based more on their shared trauma than love. Instead, Namor became more of a big brother to Shuri after the loss of T'Challa. But that's essentially who they are. They're trying to lead and be a leader of their nations with all this pain, carrying around this heavy heart, Shaver explained. When fans found out about this almost romance subplot, they were torn. Some were disappointed that they didn't get to see the storyline play out, while others agreed it was best for the plot to be removed from the film. Following the film's release, many fans had differing opinions on Letitia's portrayal. While some enjoyed her take on the role, others expressed their disappointment. Many critics praised Letitia for her turn as Black Panther. Other potential names to take on Black Panther were thrown around, including Denai Guerrera's Dora Milaje warrior Okoye, and even T'Challa's mother, played by Angela Bassett. Despite the controversy and debate over the film, the movie was still a hit, making $181 million domestically opening weekend, becoming the second highest large opening of 2022. With the introduction of T'Challa's son, fans are now curious about the future of Black Panther. Will Letitia remain in the title role? There is no second end credit scene at the end of the movie, just a black screen that says Black Panther will return. Which Black Panther we'll get is a whole other mystery. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever officially marked the end of Phase 4 of the MCU. The next phase is set to begin with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in February 2023. It's unclear exactly when and where Black Panther will appear again, but it's likely the character will need to show up for the next major team-up movie, Avengers: Kang Dynasty, which is currently slated to release in May 2025. A second part, Avengers: Secret Wars, is scheduled to drop just a few months later. These movies are set to dive deep into the multiverse, which means it's possible we could still get a totally unexpected version of T'Challa, played by a brand new actor. Much of the fourth phase of the MCU featured newly introduced Marvel TV shows, which air on Disney+. Black Panther was even rumored to get a spin-off in the form of a standalone Okoye series, starring Danai Gurira. Back in 2021, The Hollywood Reporter claimed that the show was in the works. However, there has been no news of the show since. The show was also missing from the new slate of upcoming projects revealed by Marvel head Kevin Feige at this year's Comic-Con announcements. Okoye is a fan-favorite character and was definitely a scene stealer in both Black Panther movies, so fans would be thrilled to see her get her own show. Whether or not you were a fan of the new Black Panther sequel, the film's success means the franchise won't be going away anytime soon. Everyone involved, including the moviegoers, wanted to make sure the movie respected the late Chadwick Boseman and the legacy he left behind. How will this legacy continue? Only time will tell.